and welcome to MotoGP, the first race of the day to kick off our action of dual coverage of Formula 1 and MotoGP. After the tragedy last week of Jason Despachier, we are now moving on, sadly, to the Catalan Grand Prix. The riders are racing with very heavy hearts, but they're racing in honour of Jason. So we are going to see, hopefully, a fantastic race here today. It is the 7th round of the championship, as you can see. So far, Quartararo won 3 as well. Vinales and Miller winning 2 apiece. After this, we have a 2-week break before going to the German Grand Prix at the Sachsenring, followed by a week later for the Dutch Grand Prix at the TT Assen, then a month-and-a-half break before the 2 races at Styria as well in the Red Bull Ring for the Styrian Grand Prix on the 8th of August, followed by then the Austrian Grand Prix. Then we go to the British Grand Prix, Aragon, San Marino, Japan, still under question, along with Thailand, Australia, Malaysia. Definitely going ahead is Valencia, and still to be decided, Argentina and America. Rumour circulating that we might have 2 races in America this year. In terms of the Riders' Championship then, coming into this round, obviously leading the way is Fabio Quartararo on 105 points, Johann Zarco on 81 just behind him. Also then followed by Francesco Bagnaia and Jack Miller and Johan Mir in the Suzuki right behind with Maverick Vinales. The top 6 all getting closer and closer together. And this is how the Constructors' Championship looks as well. Surprisingly, Yamaha leading the way at the moment. The big surprise is seeing how far Repsol Honda is down on the board as well. Okay, let's get into the weekend then and take a look at the combined practice times along with free practice 4. Okay, so here's what's happening in free practice 1. Aleix Espargaro, very quick out of the blocks as well in the morning. He set the fastest time, a 1:40.378. Maverick Vinales was okay, down in 4th place. Had a solid start to what he considers to be his home Grand Prix. P4 and FP1, second overall in the standings was Johann Zarco. Completing the top 5 earlier on as well, we get Pol Espargaro 3rd and Johann Zarco in 5th. Quartararo off the pace a little bit, down in 6th. Oliveira 7th. Miller and Bagnaia in the top 10, crucially qualifying at the end of first practice for the overall combined times. As you can see on your screen, for the combined times. Free practice 2 as well. Zarco left it very late in the session, but was able to go top from Franco Morbidelli as well in the first sessions. At 1:39.235 was quicker on the board as well, which was an interesting way to start the weekend, really. Inside the top 10 after the end of FP2, some of them down the bottom of the field. This was the best they could do as well. Every rider went out in free practice 2, and they all beat their free practice 1 time, so we're not going to see any combined from there. As you can see, mainly they're coming from FP3, and at the bottom they're coming from free practice 2. It was settling down as well. Different tyre options being taken in this race. Of course, tyres are a big factor at this track as well. They can shred them quite a lot more easier than anything else. Morbidelli went fastest as well on the board. The end of the top 10 in free practice 2 saw Zarco, Morbidelli, Quartararo, Binder, Bagnaia, Vinales, Miller, Bastianini, Aleix Espargaro and Pol Espargaro completing out the top 10, not getting in to Q2 at the moment. So this is what happened then in free practice 3. Morbidelli tops Quartararo. So Morbidelli was fastest in the combined times, but Jack Miller misses out on the top 10 for the first time this year. He's going to have to go through qualifying 1, as is Marc Marquez as well. After sitting P2 at the end of Friday's proceedings, Quartararo went P1 with 15 minutes to go of the final session that completes the combined times in FP3. But he couldn't go faster because it was Morbidelli who was 0.122 quicker than Quartararo over the board as well. Binder made it through with the 2 KTMs going through as well. Zarco up there as well. But Rossi's time at the end of the session as well. Bad news for Miller. So Rossi got through to the next session for Q2, but unfortunately Miller didn't. It left with the top 10 of Morbidelli, Quartararo, Oliveira, Bagnaia, Aleix Espargaro, Brad Binder, Johan Zarco, Maverick Vinales, Johan Mir and Valentino Rossi going through to qualifying 2. Everyone else have to do with Q1. On to free practice 4 then, and it was Quartararo once again, as we've come to expect from Fabio. He tops the final practice session going into a qualifying. I mean, he has taken 4 pole positions in a row. So Fabio really having the best of luck there at the moment. Further down the board as well, it was pretty much even Stevens as well. Frenchman did a 139.602 in FP4 to beat Vinales, his teammate, by 0.4 of a second. Oliveira was also just behind there in P3. Zarco and Mia completing the top 5. It was a very quiet 4th practice session, but still, what a grid we've got setting up for Q2. Okay, here's the starting grid and how we look going into this race. Let's start from the back to the front as we always do. So rows 5, 6 and 7 for this race. All the riders that took part in qualifying number 1. Starting right at the back, Lorenzo Savadori's been off the pace all weekend. Sadly, 21st was the best he could do. Alex Marquez starting 20th. That is the big surprise, actually. Got compromised when he's running qualifying. Sadly, further down the order, Luca Marini thought he could do better. Stuck down in 19th place. The 6th row sees an 18th Danilo Petrucci for KTM. Definitely could have done better. We've seen that bike has great whole shot off the line. Let's hope he can get up there for the start. Bastianini, who failed to start in Italy after going over the back of Johan Zarco, is in 17th. Luca Noah starts in 16th. The 5th row sees Jorge Martin back on the grid in 15th. Takiki Nakagami's 14th. And Marc Marquez failed to make it out of Q1. He starts in 13th. On then to the riders, the 12 riders that got into qualifying 2, and this is how they look. 4th row sees Paul Espargaro start P12 alongside Valentino Rossi and Johan Mir starting in P10. Then we get Francesco Bagnaia P9, Brad Binder 8th, Aleix Espargaro P7. Maverick Vinales starts 6th on the 2nd row alongside Franco Morbidelli and Miguel Oliveira. And the front row of the grid, this is where it was interesting. We get Johan Zarco, 2nd in the title, starting in 3rd. Jack Miller, who had to go through Q1, managed to get through and put it on the front row starting 2nd. And your pole sitter for the 5th race in a row, the first man to do that since Marc Marquez in 2015, Fabio Quartararo on pole. His time was a 1:38.853, a new track record because it's a new configuration. 24 laps ahead of us then for the Grand Prix. Let's get off these earplugs, put the headsets on. Megan will join me. It's time for the 2021 Catalan Grand Prix at the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya. Hello everybody and welcome to MotoGP. We're live in the comment box now alongside myself is Megan Birch. We've timed that perfectly because they've just set off on their parade lap now on the grid as well. Not a lot of build-up time to today's race. We're on limited time because in half an hour exactly we will start coverage of Formula 1 with a pre-recorded program. So we are live now with MotoGP, but we are on a quick off, which means we won't be on for long with MotoGP. But we've got to show this race because, Megan, Quartararo leads the title. I need 24 points to Zarco, Bagnaia and Mir. It's a great season so far. What are you expecting to see today in this race?
Something dramatic. And I don't know why, though. I've seen this track. And
Yes, yeah.
I feel like it could lead to a lot of crashes, especially around that corner.
Turn
it's
10,
like an
yeah.
S,
Yeah.
like a really, really tight S, and I think that's going to cause major problems. You can see the riders. Now, I still can't get that right.
No, you can't. You're doing better. A total at the moment as well. We've already had one faller. Jorge Martin has fallen down on the warm-up lap to the grid. So even before the official warm-up lap...
It's about 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, 2 weeks in a row. So he is starting in the pit lane for this race. Hello to Synthel and Thomas. My friends will come over soon, so I shall go. But don't worry at all.
Fine.
Enjoy what you can. We'll be on later anyway, this stream, but this is live coverage of the MotoGP. This is a watch-along session. You've got the timings alongside you. Lap counter at the top, 24 laps ahead of us. As I said, Fabio Quartararo on pole position. Alongside him, Jack Miller and Johan Zarco. It's the longest run down towards turn 1, 0.651 miles. They're on the grid. The green flag is out of the back. The Catalan Grand Prix for MotoGP is under starters orders. It's lights out and away we go. Good start from Jack Miller. Zarco's dropped back. Quartararo on the red 20 front number has got the whole shot on the blue Yamaha. But Miller goes to the inside in towards turn 1 and nudges out Quartararo. And look at that, the KTM coming through. Miguel Oliveira takes second. His teammate Brad Binder getting a tap midfield. It looked like one of the Repsol Hondas having that problem, but a great start so far if your name is Jack Miller.
Right, so they're all very, very tightly close together, which is kind of worrying, and we have a major
tailback in
the
Yes, that's Jorge
Nakagami.
Martin's joined up. Savadori's dropping back. Nakagami's coming through on the inside as Vinales gets forced back, throwing up the inside. The 2020 champion, Johan Mir, going through as well, trying to get the whole shot device. That wasn't really working, but interesting enough, again, we saw as Petrucci drops down as well throughout the order, Vinales dropped back. Jack Miller again with that whole shot device, which gets a perfect launch control away from the grid. Yeah, lightning getaway, superb getaway. And now look at this, Miller was slow out of turn 9, the campus corner, down to the newly reprofiled turn 10, and everyone's looking left and right as well. No jump start though at the start, but still Miller leads Oliveira from Quartararo. Mia, Aleix Espargaro, meantime further back as well. We're seeing dropping back, Daniel Petrucci being passed by Bastianini.
I'm just going to say something I was thinking during the warm-up lap since we were rushing. I couldn't say, what would happen? Wouldn't it be so hilarious if one of the drivers, when we were coming up just went like that to one of the other drivers?
Well, Jack Miller did exactly the same thing, and now
pushed him over.
Now we're seeing as well what we saw about an hour ago in the Moto3. You do not want to lead this race across the start line because the toe is so supreme. Miller on that Ducati is probably the only one who can do it because Oliveira nearly got alongside. Quartararo has been jumped back further back. Mia's moved up 6 places, and Morbidelli again dropping back. Great start from Alex Marquez after a poor qualifying. He started 20th. He's moving up the field. As now Vinales, sorry to concussion there, Megan Vinales looking to the inside of Zarco, can't get through at turn 4 as Paul Espargaro moving ahead of Luke Canoa, Bastianini and Marquez side by side now trying to go around the outside as well. And that's Quartararo trying to get through, but Oliveira's gone to the lead. Good spot, that's what you're pointing at, yeah. Oliveira's gone to the lead.
What is happening to Miller?
Miller's dropping back. Well,
now he's...
Oh, and off go. Quartararo goes very deep and gets over the green curb as well. Nearly wipes out Mia. Miller goes back through. Aleix Espargaro's gone through too. And Quartararo having a horrible turn 7 and 8 going on over the track, over the line onto the green.
Surprised no one's crashed it.
I'm surprised as well as Marc Marquez trying to come back round the outside as well. Brad Binder a bit under pressure as well. He's trying to pass Vinales as they approach turn 10. But it's Oliveira leading, the Portuguese rider from Jack Miller, the Aussie from Johan Mir, and then Aleix Espargaro and Quartararo the top 5. Mark, that is, moving up well.
Right, so...
Speaking of Mark. Sorry to go question there. Someone is drilling outside as well, so it's quite hard to hear. But yeah, this is actually great stuff at the moment as Oliveira does a fastest lap of 1:49.89. But now look, the Ducati whole shot device down towards, turn 1.
I was going to say, speaking of Mark, how do you think he's going to do with all these tight corners with his shoulder?
That's how he's doing. Well, apparently as well, he can last around about 7 laps. And because he crashed out last weekend, he hasn't put as much physical damage on the shoulder as he would have done in the race. But after about 7 laps, Mark's shoulder just goes and he starts dropping back. So he's great early on in the early pace, as we saw, as he just went to the inside at turn 3 and passed Brad Binder.
I think he should go easy at the start of the race, and then when it comes to the end of the race, he should start using his shoulder more.
Yeah, and as the Quartararo dives up the inside of Johann Zarco, the two championship rivals now going side by side on the track as well. Great action seeing so far as well. Quartararo leads by just 24 points, of course. So if Quartararo doesn't score today and Zarco wins, the championship lead will turn again. And here was Quartararo late on the brakes at turn 7.
Jeez.
Yeah, trying to dive bomb Miller. And we saw a red flag this morning at the very end of the Moto3 race. After the checkered flag, a rider went down there and they had to stop the race because the barrier got damaged, the air fence. So it is still a situation where you've got to be careful as Vinales gets tagged and then sideswiped into the back by Brad Binder. So Vinales goes wide at 10 and then Binder just takes a big out of him.
I swear, Binder is getting on a lot of people's nerves.
Yeah, Binder bins it a lot as well, and so does his brother Darren Binder, who's in the Moto2 category.
I can imagine if they're ever in the same thing.
Look at Luca Noah though. Luca Noah is right up alongside Polo Espargaro further back and has now got ahead of him. So Oliveira leads this race. He's got about 0.3 of a second. Scratch that. Nope. Unscratch that and put it back in felt tip pen because Oliveira leads by 0.355 to Miller. So that Red Bull KTM seems to have the acceleration down the straight, which is great to see. 21 laps to go.
I'll tell you what, it's impressive to see Espargaro in third. Because you don't usually see him up there.
Yeah, you won't see him up there usually overall, yeah.
Yeah.
And now look at this again, the KTM under pressure as well. So meantime, further back as well as that was Binder trying to pass Bagnaia goes through. Now Marc Marquez is held up behind Johann Zarco out there as well. So they're all just desperately trying to either keep it on the track or accelerate further. There's no in between at the moment. They've really got to start pushing and push hard. And right now, Oliveira's the fastest guy on the track by about 0.2 of a second. Marquez has got a great run on Zarco. Marquez got a great run out of turn 9. Looking to the inside, we've cut away at the worst timing. Look, there they are, side by side further back. Marquez goes through. Same time at the front as well. We're seeing Aleix Espargaro battling with Jack Miller. Aleix briefly was up to second. Miller got back through at turn 11. Now we're around turn 12. And Mia, who we're riding with, who keeps switching back to and forth, now on board with Jack Miller. This is the little battle as Oliveira's escaping away at the front.
I'd just like to point out something. To all the people that aren't improving, what is wrong with your bike? I'm talking mainly to Bagnaia because...
He's dropping right back, yeah.
A few laps ago, you were quite near the top of the field. Then you had a fastest lap, so now, no.
Mia dives on the inside of Aleix Espargaro down at turn 1, so that's Mia back up into third place on the podium, and Quartararo nearly got jumped out there. We saw John McPhee have a high side in turn 2 in the Moto3 race, and he was leading the race at the time, and the bike went right in the middle of the track. It took down Sasaki and Alcoba as well, so it is a bit of a dangerous one to even attempt turn 2. Morbidelli passing Nakagami, Petrucci passing Rossi just dropping back as well, as Vinales now getting dive-bombed by the Pramac Ducati of Johann Zarco.
And Paul Espargaro has dropped right down the field.
Oh, he must have crashed. Has he stopped?
So
No, he hasn't. No, he hasn't, has he? Look. Oh, he has. Yeah, he has crashed.
Yeah.
Paul Espargaro has crashed, so the Repsol Honda's day and weekend get even worse, and that is down at turn 5. So that's down to the Seat corner.
I think he's hurt his knees a bit.
Yeah, that's a downhill section of the track, so he probably would have skated a lot on his knees and gone for a little roll in the gravel, so hopefully he'll be okay. Synthil says, does MotoGP look faster than F1? It does look faster. They're quicker off the line than F1 cars, but overall F1 is faster. But it's a lot more pack racing you get. And Synthil's off now, but we'll see you later. And Thomas asks, who do we think will win the F1 race? Megan, quickly talk about F1.
I personally think that Leclerc will win the F1 race, and I think that because he's had good pace, and also I think he just deserves it after what happened last week in Monaco.
Absolutely agree. Now, back to the MotoGP action at the front because Miller is coming under pressure as well. Further back, side by side again. Marc Marquez versus Aleix Espargaro, round turn 2. And Aleix gets forced out wide, so Marquez goes through and Aleix drops back. Aleix actually dropped behind only Zarco. Vinales didn't manage to get him. I thought he would do there. But a little bit of slipstreaming, nicely done.
Let's see.
Oh, and Zarco's going back on the inside of Marquez as well. Marquez going to try and cut back. Doesn't work, so Zarco back through. Nearly has a high side coming through turn 4. Had to sit the bike up. That's giving about a 4 abreast manoeuvre. Alace dives through on the inside at turn 5. Downhill, right-hander. Gets ahead of Marc Marquez as well. Vinales looking for a way through. As Mia second, Quartararo third. Jack Miller's dropped down to 4th place. What's happened there? And he has, look, it's visible.
I don't know.
Marquez trying to fall back as well, down the field as well, so that arm pump might be hurting him as well. Adding to arm pump as well. Whoa, big accident further back.
What?
Rider down. He's looking okay.
He's okay.
It's one of the... I think it's one of the Tech 3s.
It's
Danilo,
Petrucci.
it's Danilo Petrucci, who's crashed down at turn 9. Let's hope, actually, as well, that the bike, it's a fast one there. That's where Lorenzo went down in testing, and it was the beginning of the end of his career there because he never quite recovered.
He looks okay. He's just, like, shocked.
He looks okay. He got up okay, but let's hope the bike hasn't punctured the air fence. That would be a red flag.
I saw that happen. It was.
Yeah.
It looked fine. I think he just slipped off the bike or maybe
On the entrance to the corner, yeah.
Like went over a curb or something.
And now we're seeing side-by-side action further back as well, as it is Aleix Espargaro versus, once again, Marc Marquez. Marquez round the outside into 1. Vinales going to try and cut back on the inside into 2. As round the outside now, we're seeing 2 championship rivals, Mia and Quartararo. Mia, the champion of 2020. Quartararo trying to get it in 21. And Quartararo's taken second place away from the champion, Mia. Nicely done round the outside.
Right, so...
Don't know about Formula 1, but I'm going to sweat this shirt out even before MotoGP. And Formula 1 is an insane race coming up.
Who on the grid right now do you think that could be a problem with them two next to each other?
Who would it affect more?
Yeah.
Miller. Because if these two
Miller
come
and
together...
Mir.
Yeah, if these two come together as well, it's going to...
And Zarco won't help him.
No, Zarco's dropping... Zarco's 9/10 back from Mia, but still, look, Miller's right in front of these two. If these two go down, they're going to take Miller with him.
Yeah.
And Miller's title hopes are on the line here.
And Miller and Mir, they don't have the best driving history.
No, they don't. Go back to Doha as well, when it was big shoves down at the corners as well. And then a fight, an all-out fight on the bikes and the pit straight. Yeah.
I was shocked at that. I was just like, I've never seen this happen before, but I need it in my life.
I know, all-out fighting. That was your first race back as well, if I remember correctly. But still, we're seeing 18 laps to go. It's lap 7 of 24. Lap time around here shouldn't take too long. We're averaging about a 140.2 overall.
Right, so let's see how we're good. Olivia was doing good.
Look at Mia. Mia's getting the toe now. Quadraro down towards turn 1.
Mia's
Not going to work
catching
out.
up.
Yeah. Oh.
Ooh.
Miller's gone in.
Speaking of.
I thought Miller wasn't going to make that corner. He was looking so late on the brakes, but he managed to tip the bike in for the apex as well. And Oliveira commanding this race, a 1:42.04 in our second visit to Spain this year. The Portuguese rider is doing a lot of great work out there. Marquez and Vinales now.
Oh, that's
Marquez and Maverick Vinales. I always get these two mixed up as well because they've got such similar first names, Mark and Maverick. As well.
Cool first name.
Yeah, Maverick. Yeah, well, they call him. He's actually got. He does buy into the Top Gun factor a lot of that. He's got it on the back. He's got the Top Gun logo on his back of his levers with Maverick written on it with the Top Gun Air Force wings as well. Oh, and Nakagami, long lap penalty. So he's got to go round the long lap.
How have you already managed to get that?
We've seen no warning coming up on the monitor about track limits abuse, so that must be a penalty for another reason. We'll take a look at it later on as well.
What did you do?
Yeah, that's what I want to know, actually, what was going on there.
Did you cause a crash? Someone's going
Someone's
down.
Someone's down in the background.
It's Marc Marquez.
And Marc Marquez has crashed out again. The second race running. He did it a week
He's
ago.
struggling to get it back up.
He did it. Well, his shoulder's probably even more damaged. Look, he's trying to rest it on one. He looks okay. He is okay. Walks away. Oh, no, he can't believe it. Marc Marquez down on the deck at the new turn 10. The second week running. Marc has crashed out of his own accord. He did it in turn 3.
Oh, that's a lot of debris.
Yeah, he did it in turn 3. Luco in Mugello. He's done it here again. Now, what does he do? He must just tip it in. Don't tell me Vinales hits him. No, it looks like he's just going to tip it in, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah.
Turns it in, the front folds, and there's absolutely nothing you can do there.
That was close to hitting his shoulder. That could have ended bad.
That's exactly what happened at Jerez last year where he slid in front of the bike and the bike whacked his shoulder, but at much, much higher speed. But that's Marc Marquez out of the race. So, and Nakagami, he shortcut turns 1 and 2. So that is the reason for the long lap penalty. So, Repsol Honda's weekend that has already been miserable ends again in misery as both Repsols are out.
Mark does not look happy.
Mark out, Paul out, and already out as well, Daniel Petrucci. We only have 18 runners left, and the guy in 18th was the one who fell on the warm-up lap. Jorge Martin. Well, we always do get a couple of crashes and retirements here, so it is getting a bit more interesting out there as well. In 13 minutes and 27 seconds time, you can have in another box on the YouTube channel here, the warm-up show, the pre-race show, pre-recorded obviously, for Formula One's Azerbaijan Grand Prix. We will be live, and I can tell you, at 12... we'll be live at 12:55:48. That's when you join us live in the commentary box. But at 12:28 British summertime, you'll have built-up coverage as we look back. Miller trying to hold off Zarco into turn 1. Zarco's brake way too late as well. He got back in the slipstream of Miller and almost cut him out of it as Nakagami has taken the long lap penalty as well.
Right, so... I wonder who else is going to crash.
I wonder who else is going to go down as well. It's an interesting one, isn't it? Who do you think, though, Megan, is going to win this race? Who do you put your money on? Pass you a random sheet with the starting grid. There you go. Who do you think is going to win this? Yeah, who do you think is going to win this race? As we see Quartararo right back as well, further back, trying to get through on Oliveira. Megan has picked Franco Morbidelli to win this race. Morbidelli's running in 11th at the moment, so bit of a miracle. Admittedly, also, just below that, you saw him in the middle, was Jack Miller, who started second. Miller's P4. So let's go with both Miller and Morbidelli. Give you some realistic
50-50.
views. Yeah, 50-50. Oliveira's lost a lot of tenths. Oliveira has got a hard front, hard rear tyre. Quartararo's got medium front, hard rear. And yeah, another long lap penalty, second of the race.
What do you keep doing?
For Tatsuki Nakagami. So he must have not done the first one right, and he's going to have to do it again now for... the second run. So, not a good news if your name is Nakagami. And that's LCR Honda as well, who's the customer team to Repsol.
Honda,
to Repsol Honda, yeah.
Oh, it's Honda, so...
Yeah, not a good day if you want a Honda. Great day at the moment for Red Bull, KTM, Yamaha, Suzuki, Ducati, Aprilia, all up there. Down there as well. Where is the nearest Honda, actually, looking at that? Alex Marquez, running in 13th, is the top Honda on the LCR. And he's running in 13th. And admittedly, he did start 20th. He did start 20th, though. Vinales closing up on Aleix Espargaro to turn 1. Oh, and it's another long lap. Nakagami failed to comply with long lap penalty, and he's been given a long lap penalty. So he's got 2 to do. It's a 2 lap. So he's got to do it now, and now he's going to go do it again next lap. So Nakagami's going to drop right to the back of the field. And he has. He's passed. He's been passed by Martin and Savadori.
I bet he's thinking right now, it's like, I was high-ish on the field.
What? What are you on about? Yeah.
High for him.
High up the field, yeah. So Oliveira has been caught by Fabio Quartararo. This is a replay of Marc Marquez coming back into the paddock. Doesn't look happy, does he? Mark, that's a shame.
I reckon his shoulder's a bit achy as well.
Oh, yeah, it definitely would be. Definitely would be aching, yeah. So another one to... Look, that's an angle on board with Aleix Espargaro. Front just tipped in way before. As soon as he went to lean into turn 10, the new turn 10, front folded, that was it, he was down. Oh, I think Aleix Espargaro's crashed. He's dropping down my timing monitor. I think Aleix Espargaro's down on the deck.
Yeah, he's down.
Yep, and he is, yep. Rider okay, according to our timing screen. There he is. He's crying. Aleix Espargaro, he knows he could have had a win today for Aprilia, and he's down on the deck at the turn 10 complex, the same as Marc Marquez, and here comes Fabio Quartararo down the start-finish straight in the slipstream on Miguel Oliveira, looks to the inside, can't get through. Zarco, meantime, looking to go through on Miller, not working out. Further back, Pepe Bagnaia gets through for 7th place ahead of Brad Binder. And Bagnaia sets the fastest first sector time as a result. Oliveira goes very wide out of that part of the corner at turn 3. And now that's going to allow Quartararo to get the whole shot up there.
What a shame for Espargaro, though.
I know, what a shame. He was finally running competitive on that Aprilia. A side-by-side action now for the lead of the race. Oliveira holding with Quartararo. Quartararo going to send it at the inside, and he's done it! He takes the lead at turn 5, the Seat corner. And that is Fabio Quartararo leading on the Yamaha. On the medium front, hard rear. Oliveira, hard front, hard rear. So, and admittedly, Oliveira should be able to keep up with Quartararo. He might have damaged that front tyre trying to catch up in the dirty air. And he's staying with him. And Mia's closing out. Mia is on medium front, medium rear.
I can't believe how many have crashed in just, 5 laps.
Aleix down, Mark down, Daniel down, Paul down. Both the Espargaros out of the race as well.
Oh my god, I only just noticed that.
Both brothers out of this race as well. If I look at my notes as well.
I bet they're not happy.
Yeah, at home soil as well. On Spanish soil, the 2 Espargaro brothers out.
Oh, that's not good. They're going to go...
Yeah.
They're going to go and just be like, I can't believe we both actually managed to crash out.
Well, Mark's crashed out in his home race. He considers this one more his home race because he was born in the Catalan area, the Catalonia area. As we're seeing now, we've got battles again down towards turn 1 as Oliveira tries to fight back to Quartararo. Not
Anyone
working
else
out this
Spanish
time.
on this grid?
About 75% of the field is probably Spanish. Let's go through them, shall we? Vinales, Spanish. Lucanoa, Spanish. We get Mia, Spanish, Aleix Espargaro, Paul Espargaro, Alex Marquez, Marc Marquez, all Spanish riders out there. Jorge Martin, Spanish.
Well, let's hope you don't crash out like the others.
And we've got the most Spanish rounds of anything. MotoGP is a Spanish sport. It's based in Barcelona. This is where we are, Barcelona area. For the Catalan Grand Prix, it's their home race for MotoGP. It's always an exciting one, but it is a Spanish centralised championship because Dorna own it.
We descend from Spain.
Look at that!
In the 1300s.
I've been to Barcelona at this very circuit for F1's pre-season testing, and I've stood at that part of the track, and I don't remember seeing all those buildings in the distance surrounding the track. I've never seen those, and I was there. I must not have been paying attention. Must have been on the photographs though.
Do you know in the 1300s we have an ancestor from Spain?
Oh, actually, yeah, you're right.
Toledo, Spain, the middle of Spain.
Actually, thinking about it, I have seen those buildings, but I was on the other side of the track, more towards turn 1, 2, and 3, and there's a beautiful photograph taken as well out there with the sunsets. And I think actually one of my friends who was with me in Barcelona, Connor, I think his profile picture is the setting sun with the Barcelona village around it.
You'll have to check.
I'll have to double check that, yeah. Back to the action then, 11 laps to go. We're down the start-finish straight once again, and Oliveira's got in the slipstream of Quartararo down towards turn 1. Zarco's passing Miller as well. Oliveira takes the lead of the race away from Fabio Quartararo. Quartararo's going to try and come back, though. He doesn't want to have a whole shot device again. And Oliveira's gone wide. Quartararo takes the tighter inside line out of 3. Can he get the run up to turn 4? Comically called Repsol for Repsol Honda. And he can't get through there.
I just thought in my mind, who will crash next? Sorry, Bastianini.
Enea Bastianini looks to go down next on the deck. Closing up, 11 to go.
Right, so where is he right now? Bastianini is in 11th position, behind Morbidelli.
If ever there was a recipe for disaster, I think it's around there, don't you think?
Very much.
On that part of the track.
Oh, guess who's behind him?
Who?
Alex Marquez.
Alex Marquez made decent start. Started 20th up into 12th place.
Speaking of Marquez.
And this is another replay down at turn 10.
Who's this of?
This is Aleix's crash. Exactly the same as Marquez's. Exactly the same as Marquez's. Just turns in and drops the front. Although, admittedly, he did go very wide.
Yeah.
So he was trail braking into the corner and it didn't work. Game over.
And he's just crying everything. He's actually crying.
Well, wouldn't you? Home race and had a chance of winning your home race. Don't worry, you've got Aragon and Valencia to have another go at it. The 2 races left.
Yeah, both brothers can win.
Yeah. Coming down then. 10 laps to go. Mia under pressure from the Ducati of Zarco. Zarco looks to the inside. He's too far back in order to make the attack. I've got the sense that Jack Miller's just biding his time here until making a proper attack. I mean, he's backing up a lot, but he's still sort of maintaining the overall pace that he needs to keep in with this lot. So I like it. Could be fun. Let me know where you are at home as well, everybody. Who do you think is going to win this race? I know Synthor was thinking Quattararo, but let me know who you are hoping will win this race. And in about 4 minutes' time exactly, you can watch the build-up coverage for Formula One with analysis from all the practice sessions and qualifying, and then we'll go live for the race at precisely 12:55:48 British summertime. So that is at this hour, at 55 minutes and 48 seconds past.
When does the race start?
Race starts 5 minutes later as well. So that build-up show, the whole pre-show is pre-recorded today because of the MotoGP, but we'll be live for the race itself on the same stream. How long do you think the race will be?
Yeah.
I'm thinking 3 safety cars, a red flag. I'm thinking it could be 2.5 hours, closer to 3.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, don't hold any hope that anything's going to be live. Anything's going to go to plan today, yeah. So, definitely though, we're going to have a classic in Baku. We are definitely going to have a classic. I know that. And we've got a classic brewing here.
You're going to need a drink before that then.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to go in and get everything ready. But
I've got a nice hot cup of tea.
Let me tell you something right now. Let me tell you something right now as well, as we've got Zarko now in that slipstream with Mia going through. So, Zarko takes third.
Right, so far no one else has crashed, which I'm impressed by, though I'm watching Bastianini and I'm hoping I don't curse him.
No, yeah, let's hope he doesn't. Savadori is the last runner at the moment on the Aprilia.
Who do I curse on this grid? Because in Formula 1, I've had Hartley before.
I think Marquez, you haven't really been his favourite since he returned to racing, have you?
I like Marquez.
I mean, admittedly, hang on a minute. Crashed out the French Grand Prix, crashed out of the Italian Grand Prix, crashed out of the Catalan Grand Prix. Marquez has crashed out in 3 races. But he did finish, I think. No, he crashed out again, didn't he, in France? So, yeah, he's crashed out the last 3 races. Because I forgot you weren't with us in Italy. Sorry, you weren't with us in France. So that's Jack Miller. It's past Mia. So Miller's now to 4th place as well. He's passed Johan Mir with 9 to go.
Okay, who do I curse on the grid?
Johan Mir.
Why did I curse Mir?
Well, he's just coming down now into turn 10. Mia's a medium front, medium rear. Mia has medium front, medium rear for Mia. Try and say that when you're drunk. As you come through as well. Further back as well, Bagnaia and Binder are battling over 7th and 8th. Vinales is sort of trying to hook on to the back of this running order for the lead of the race. Oh, Rossi! Rossi's dropped down to 17th place and is crashed. Valentino Rossi has crashed out of the Catalan Grand Prix. He's down on the deck, and a horrible season, in fact, continues for the doctor. Down at turn 10, exactly the same as Mark and Alish, yeah. Just getting the kill switch, probably, so they can move the bike. It looks like it's locked at the rear. Is it a front drop? Yes, it's ever a front drop. That never even got to the braking zone. I think it went down as soon as he tipped the bike. Oh, even worse.
On the other hand, I'm going to say something. If I do curse me, then let him crash in the next 3 laps.
We're live now.
If he crashes, then...
We're live now on YouTube as well for the Formula 1 build-up show. That's getting underway in about 60 seconds' time. We'll have that as well here on the channel. Megan.
Right. So I'm hoping, for love of everything, that Mir doesn't crash right now.
Yeah, you're keeping everything, fingers crossed, toes crossed, everything crossed, hoping it's not going to go up in flames.
Yep. Though I was incorrect. It wasn't Bastianini who...
Oh, it wasn't Bastianini, yeah. It was Rossi, yeah.
Has an S in it still, but still. Most of the drivers have an S.
Down into the deck then on the corner. It's still going well. As we see, Vinales desperately trying to get through on Mir.
Just don't crash into him.
And we are live now on YouTube for the build-up show to Formula 1. That pre-recorded segment of the programme has just got underway now. I've just clicked it on the other computer. We've got up here in the box to go live. So we are live now for that part of the broadcast for them, as still closing up together as well. This is going to be the crunch point, isn't it? Exactly who's going to be where, as Mia's under pressure this time. Down now on the deck as well, pointing to the inside. Backs out of it. Oh, Luca Noah's crashed. Luca Noah, who was running in 11th place, has crashed out of the race.
Wait, I said to someone who were questioning.
Oh,
like 3 laps.
that's turn 13. That's a fast one. That is a fast one. And the airbag's gone off as well.
Oh, a lot of debris.
And sadly, that's where Lewis Salon was killed in 2016. It's a violent part of the track as well. You go off there, you're almost certain to go into the barrier. They've done their best.
He didn't.
Luckily, he didn't. The gravel trap, as I said, there's a lot more gravel trap there this year as well than previous.
Well, it's working.
He looks to be okay. He was sat up. The airbag's gone off, obviously, but he looked to be okay, which is great news as well.
Sad. Does that mean I cursed Luca Noah?
You did curse Luca Noah ages ago. You said about Luca Noah crashing out. I think early on in the race.
Really?
But yeah.
Wait, so it's Luca Noah as well.
Not a great situation at the moment. So that's yellows out at turn 13, the Euro car.
Why do I...
Or the Europe car corner, turn 13. Turn 14 has been renamed New Holland and Catalonia.
Why do I curse someone in every sport?
No idea. We've got the race coming up next for Formula 1 as well. Let's see
Who
what's
do
going to happen there.
Them?
Leclerc? Probably.
No, I don't curse Leclerc. Who in Formula 1 do I curse now? 'Cause it used to be Hartley.
I think Vettel, actually. I think it's fair to say it's Vettel.
Why?
Can we go, look,
What have I done to Vettel?
I'm going to correct you here because look at this. Fabio Quartararo's got a lovely run out of turn 14, the New Holland corner, down now towards turn 1, the Expo 91 part of the track. And it's actually called Elf turn 1. Expo 91 is turn 2. But this is the Elf corner, turn 1.
Is someone that's like a really big fan of the movie?
I think it came out before. I'll have to figure that out, though, completely. Everyone's still just going through. Circulating with 6 laps to go of this race as well. Trying to check everything as well at the moment. Pit lane's open for Formula 1, by the way. Cars are out on the track. We'll be live with that shortly as well. You're watching pre-recorded images on the YouTube live stream there. The pre-race show, all pre-recorded for Formula 1 this weekend as we take MotoGP as live priority. I say live, it's shoved onto a laptop streaming this one. Same setup, same everything, but the laptop's taking it instead of the big computer that'll take Formula 1. Just because it makes more sense. It just makes more sense. Keeps on going then throughout this part of the track as well. And I can't see Oliveira losing this one. Sorry, Megan, cut you
No,
there.
I was about to say, it's stressing me out.
What, this race?
Yeah.
Yeah, because anyone can just drop it down to turn 10.
Because I'm scared that Mia's going to go down next.
Vinales is actually closing as well in that little battle with
Stay away from him. 2 laps.
Bagnaya's closing on Vinales as well. He's taking that down every couple of seconds as well. And look at those tyres. They are the medium fronts on Quartararo.
Ooh,
they are
upgrading.
absolutely shredded, aren't they, as well? 18 laps.
You can see bits coming off it.
Yeah.
This is bad.
Not good at all as we start with 5 laps to go. It's lap 20 out of 24. Into the braking zone now at turn 1, the Elf corner. I tell you what, Quartararo's having to brake early, isn't he? He's sort of feeding the bike into the corner. Oliveira was just like, nope, brake, down we go, up we go. He's very jagged, isn't he, with Oliveira's riding style, whereas Quartararo is having to save his tyres, so he's a lot more smooth and delicate with the bike. Quartararo is just thrashing it around there, just in you go, up we go. And he might throw it down on the deck, you know. And look at that. He's leaving loads of black lines coming out of turn 4 at Repsol. So a load of rear sliding there at the moment. Certainly would give it that Quartararo is going to overtake him now. I thought a couple of laps ago, I can't see him going through. Pit Burra is watching along in the KTM garage. And he, the team owner and principal, must be crossing everything
He
at
looks
the
really
moment.
nervous.
He's crossing his fingers certainly as well out there at the moment, just trying to hold on. He's got his mask on as well. You can see the little beads of sweat as well, just above his glasses as well. Trying to keep on because KTM on for a 3rd victory. 4th victory in their career. They had 3 last year, 1 with Brad Binder, 2 with Miguel Oliveira. And now so far this year, this could be their first win if I check my notes right. Yeah. They won last year as well. Brad Binder took victory at the Czech Republic Grand Prix last year. Oliveira won in Styria and Portugal. So the team looking for their 4th ever win here at Catalonia for KTM. But Quartararo is going to try and stop him, the Frenchman.
On the bright side, it appears they don't curse me.
That's great. Oh, that's great running at the moment as well. And just to inform you, Danny Ricciardo has had a little moment down at turn 16 on his way to the grid. He went high, he nearly went off the track into the wall. He's okay. Brad Binder finally gets through on Bagnaia. He's taken a couple of laps, but he's gone scruffy through turn 1 and 2. Bagnaia's going to get the whole shot round turn 3 as well, up towards turn 4 at Repsol. I think he's got him. Yeah, he's got him. Well done. So Binder passes Bagnaia. But Danny Ricciardo in the Formula 1, off at turn 16, no damage. And he is on the grid, A-OK, no problems there. Actually, remarkably consistent in the last couple of laps there for Oliveira. Since lap 2, he's done 140s every single lap. That's almost what Quartararo does.
For the past 2?
141 actually on the last lap, yeah. So that was the big black line probably he left her on the track as well to try and ramp it back up again. 4 to go here. We should finish just on time, actually.
Do you ever get the feeling that when you're holding a cup, it just like kind of sticks to your hand, and I don't know how?
It's called heat. Megs, take the action.
Right, shocking. Well, it is lap 4, and Oliveira needs to speed up on his times because you're slowing down, mate.
Yeah, definitely is. 4 to go.
Quartararo's very close.
Yeah, well, actually, Zarco might have great late race pace here, actually, because he's closing right up. Zarco dealt with Miller quite easily. Now he's on the back of the Monster Energy Yamaha of Quartararo, and I think he's going to have him. That Ducati's got awesome straight line speed, and he passes Quartararo like he wasn't there. Unbelievable. And Quartararo nearly falls off and off the track. Has to take the escape road. He nearly fell off the deck. You saw him. His left leg came off the bike. He nearly dropped it on the deck. Zarco takes second, and we see Quartararo start to fail. That arm pump as well. How much is that going to hurt? He came into the pit box in practice 3. The team thought the bike was leaking. It was his arm. It was open the wound and it was leaking plasma.
Jeez. Wait, they have plasma in there?
Yeah, plasma.
That is dangerous.
No, plasma leaked from his suit. His arm opened up. His arm pump surgery. One of his stitches opened up. And he had to save it. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Quartararo, after that, took his arm off the bike. He's riding injured now. Look at that. Look. Off goes the arm.
Oh,
what's that?
What's that debris?
That's not debris. I think that's bodywork.
That's his blue.
Miller. Miller dives through, but can't do it down at turn 10. Quartararo takes back 3rd place.
Look at the back of his bike. Now.
Yes. The airbag's gone off for Quartararo. It was the airbag. The airbag's gone off. Look, it's off! Oh my goodness!
Oh my God!
That's what's happened. The chest pump, the airbag has blown.
His chest is completely open.
Quartararo on that shunt, his airbag has exploded, and it's broke the zip off. If I demonstrate with my shirt, it's like this. It's broke the zip off, and his chest cover's gone.
That is dangerous. He needs to go into a pit lane.
His chest is exposed as Miller goes back through.
If he crashes, that could kill him.
Miller goes back through, and now Quartararo goes back through, but he's racing Barry Sheen style, like Superman out there. He's got his chest exposed. The protective cover's gone. Unbelievable.
Speaking of what I was going to say for all this drama, I'm not holding my cup right now.
Yeah, well, I don't think Quartararo is holding on to his dignity at the moment either. We've got 2 laps to go.
He's keeping his chest.
Look at that. Look at that. I can see his belly button as well.
Yeah.
He's
keeping himself really close to the thing.
That, when he dropped the bike and picked it up again, because it was such a shock, it's blown the airbag and it's blown the zip off. It's broke the fire suit, and the chest cover that they've got there has fallen out.
I think Miller has noticed, because I've noticed he's backing up a bit.
Yeah, he knows as well. He can just go through, and I don't think if Quartararo gets a podium with that, ride of the season. Because that's going to be cold as well.
That's more impressive than Lewis Hamilton on the wheel.
His chest's going to be cold. He's going to be feeling it. The thing's going to be flying on his chest very hard.
Serious death.
And he's got arm pump issues as well. So he's really riding battered, his Quartararo. In all my years of commentating on MotoGP, and it is my 10th season commentating on this sport, I have never, ever seen that ever happen before.
I just thought that those suits couldn't open
I
easily.
didn't expect that. No, I didn't, because usually they're locked off as well, but the zip must have burst with the fire suit. Last lap is the call for this crazy Catalan Grand Prix. Miguel Oliveira leads from Johan Zarco, running in second place at the moment. A reminder, we are on a quick off here. We will not be taking you through the podium ceremony due to Formula One. So we are on a quick off here. We'll have a quick analysis after the checkered flag. But we are on for a last lap battle. Oliveira is slow. Very slow. He's about a sector slower than Zarco. Zarco has saved his tyres, and now he is closing on the Portuguese rider. The Frenchman on the Italian bike, Johan Zarco, chases down the Portuguese rider on an Austrian bike for Red Bull KTM. Coming up to the last sector, this is turn 9, the campus corner. Downhill now to that new turn 10 section. Jack Miller is right on the back of Quartararo as well in order to try and get through. Can he go through on the inside? No, not working off there. Quartararo holds through. Miller can't hold off. Zarco's closing in on Miguel Oliveira. What's the podium going to be, Megs?
I think the way it is now, but still.
3-second penalty. Quartararo gets a 3-second time penalty. So Miller's on the podium. And Miguel Oliveira exits the last corner. It's once. It's twice. It's 3 times a winner in MotoGP. Oliveira wins at Catalunya. And KTM are delighted with that one. It's Zarco's second. Now Quartararo finishes on the road in third, but gets a 3-second time penalty.
For what, we don't know.
For corner cutting at turn 1 and 2 when the airbag exploded.
He had no choice there. It was either that or
crash.
die.
Yeah, but still, that's Jack Miller onto third place on the podium.
They need to review that again.
And finishing in third will be Jack Miller, Quartararo fourth, Mia fifth, Vinales, Bagnaia, Binder, Morbidelli, Bastianini, Alex Marquez, followed by Tikiki Nakagami, Johan Mir, and Lorenzo Savadori. The 15 riders finishing this race, each and every one of them score World Championship points. Quartararo leads the title now on 121 points. He's 20 points clear of Johan Zarco, 33 clear of Bagnaia, and 34 clear of Miller. The championship's still close there as well. Out of this race, we saw Luca Noah, Rossi, Aleix Espargaro, Marc Marquez, Petrucci, and Paul Espargaro. Megan, what did you think of that race? Oh,
dramatic.
Yeah, 3-second time penalty for Quartararo because he shortcut turn 1 and 2.
He had no choice. It's not like he has to do that.
We can debate this long into the night, but that is the situation as it stands.
Well, I'm not agreeing with the stewards.
Yeah, so then, Megan, what did you make of that race? Give us a rider of the day.
Certainly dramatic, and Quartararo, because that last bit.
Yeah, okay, fair point. This is why
It's dangerous.
So it goes behind, look, it just tail breaks in, drops off, and then the airbag goes off as well. And it's blown off already. And the zip breaks, and off goes part of the damage of his chest cover as well.
Also, how is it a shortcut when he lost position?
Yeah.
Because of it.
Okay, we're crossing over now to live coverage of the Formula One race for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. The pre-show is underway right now. Cross over to that watching as well. We're on a quick off here due to this. Massive congratulations to Miguel Oliveira. Johan Zarco is second and Jack Miller is third. That is the official result. His third win of his career. He goes to the limited number of fans in his stadium as well. Miguel Oliveira wins the Catalan Grand Prix. My thanks to Megan for the coverage. We'll be back 3 weeks' time. 2 weeks' time, isn't it? Yeah, 2 weeks' time we're back for the German Grand Prix on the same weekend as the Formula One French Grand Prix again. So another little setup there with a quick off. But thanks for your coverage. Sorry, I keep doing that, don't I? I keep doing that. Thanks for your company. Crossover now to Formula One. Congratulations to Miguel Oliveira, and we'll see you in a few weeks' time. Bye for now.